The TechNet got canceled on Monday.
Good evening, Northern Colorado. This is Kilo Delta Zero, Tango Yankee Uniform. My name is Joe. I'm located in Lebanon, and I'll be net control for this evening's Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club net. The purpose of this net is to provide a forum for announcements of amateur radio-related events. A meeting time on the air to encourage social interaction between club owners, club members, and also provide you a point of contact for club board members. This net may be interrupted at any time for emergency or prior traffic. If you need to use the system for emergencies, please say the word break, give your call sign, we will acknowledge you and suspend the net until you've advised others that you are clear. Are there any emergency or prior traffic at this time? All licensed amateur radio operators with 70-cent radio privileges are encouraged to check in. Club membership, of course, is encouraged but never required to be able to participate. This net will begin as a directed net and then shift into an open net. There'll be opportunities with stations with equipment for sale to be able to announce those particular items. And check-in is requested for the purpose of counting participation, and no check-out is ever required. Once all stations are checked in, Net Control will ask club board members if they have any announcements, and then call for any other announcements from any other operators. Please be courteous once the formal part of the net is over and allow break-ins from other stations to be part of the conversation. When checking in, please give your call sign slowly using the ITU phonetic alphabet. This evening we have had 15 early check-ins. I'll now start by calling club board members. Club board members who've not checked in earlier, please call now. Okay, anybody? Club members Alpha through Zulu, please call now, who has not checked in earlier.
Kilo Bravo 0, November Golf, Troy and Cheyenne.
Evening, Joe. Kilo 8, Golf, Echo, Jerry, Fort Collins.
Alpha India 7, Papa Mike, Phil, 7 p.m. Mobile.
Kilo Foxtrot
Great,
0,
we got three of you out there.
Romeo.
Well, good evening out there in Cheyenne. I appreciate that. Jerry, I imagine you're in Fort Collins. And Phil, you're on the road probably between Cheyenne and Fort Collins. Thank you very much for checking in. Anyone else want to check in for tonight's club day? Please call.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Alpha November Romeo, copy.
I copied you, but I'm not sure what the call sign is. Go again, please.
QSL, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Alpha November Romeo, copy.
I got it that time. KF0ANR. What's the name, please, sir?
Yeah, Handle here's Alec. I'm not really a member, but I was listening to the net. My previous call was November 0 Yankee Hotel operator. I've been a ham operator since the early 90s, but I just upgraded to my general copy.
Well, you, like I said earlier, you do not have to remember to be part of this net and to be able to participate for anything you'd like.
Yeah, hello to the group. I'm here in Lafayette, and I appreciate your energy on the net. I'll be standing by KF0ANR.
Well, thank you, Alec. Appreciate that. Anybody else want to check in for tonight's club net? Visitors, whoever, please call.
Zero VIU, Richard, Fort Collins.
Kilo Echo 0 Charlie Bravo Tango, Andrew and Boulder.
I had a good double there, but I got Andrew in there from Boulder. How's Andrew doing?
I'm doing okay. Kind of bored, so I'm glad this is happening. Thank you for hosting it.
Oh, anytime. We're more than happy to have you. And somebody, I think, was there from Fort Collins, I think, but who doubled with Andrew, come back?
That's K0BIU, Fort Collins. Name is Richard.
BIU, got you that time, Richard. Thank you very much for checking in. Anyone else want to check in, please call. Okay, let's move along to announcements. I have a few, but I'm going to wait till to tell everybody else. Does anybody else have any announcements for the net? Please call now. Okay, I guess I'll go now. Got a couple things going on. Hamfest. I've been dealing with this I've been doing this, I don't know, a long time, 8, 9, 10 years, something like that. And I don't think we have really come up with a good... I'm sorry, I dropped the mic. We've been discussing our Hamfest for January. As you know, we have it the third week in January. We've had it for ever. I'm not sure this year we'll be able to do this. Just because of COVID and things like that, I don't feel real comfortable saying that we're going to do this in January and make sure that everything is copacetic, because I can't really guarantee anything here on out. Let this drop and I'll explain. To kind of let you know, what we do is when we actually have to reserve that place 6 months ahead of time. So we'd be looking probably now or sometime in August where I'd have to get a hold of them. At that time, we have to give them quite a bit of money just to hold the place. Now, that money may come back or may not come back. And considering this is 6 or 7 months down the road and there doesn't seem to be a solution to our pandemic, I don't feel real comfortable with doing that. But we're not going to leave you folks out there. What we have done is we've come up with, and I got to turn my page, because Marcy calls this the tech-a-thon. I think that's such a good word. What we're going to do is we're going to put together a Zoom type or one of the other type telecommunication type situations, and have a question and answer period, and have experts give you a presentation, and it'll be one to another. Let this drop. These will be all interactive. You'll be able to ask questions at any time, and we'll pick the topics. We'll put them out there on the website. You can join in at any time. You can stay for the whole thing, which we don't even know how long that will be. Again, we just thought about this last night and decided we would try this. And then maybe during the year we may open this up to maybe have a tailgate session where people sell things and things like that. Let me let this drop one more time. If you didn't know it, HempFest is one of our biggest money makers. In fact, it's probably one of the biggest, next to memberships and things like that. And so we don't feel really right about putting people in harm's way just to get money. So anyway, what we're planning on doing is going to be free of charge, and there's not going to be a cost for you to join this thing. We'll do it on Zoom, and you'll be able to check in with people who are interested in doing that free of charge. So is there any comments or questions about this? If you have any reservations or anything like that, you please talk now. Please ask now.
K0CBT.
CBT, go.
Well, this is my thought regarding the sale, the flea market kind of thing, which a lot of us call it. I would suggest that it be done in the fall when the weather is decent, and done by tailgate. Social distancing would not be a problem, people wearing masks and that sort of thing. I don't think that would be a big issue. It's an important part of what, ham, operators around here like the Ham Fest for, at least for me and several others. So I think that can be figured out.
Yes, I agree with you. However, there's some issues with that when we work with those people out there, we have looked at we've looked at that, and what we said was a good place for that would probably be the same place that we held Field Day in July or June, whenever it was. And we were looking into that, but tables are a concern, and this and that would be a concern, and whether they would even lend us out there. That's why we would probably look into this in probably when they've got some handle on this COVID, and I really certainly think that within 6 to 9 months we will have something out there that we can probably hold this thing. And there's nothing that we couldn't do is possibly get an inside Hamfest or an outside Hamfest or something like that going. So that's kind of in the works, but to kind of I got to quit being so long-winded. And to kind of substitute, that's why we are going into this.
Comment? Well, I timed out too, and my comment was that I think that the online stuff will have very poor attendance because people were kind of interested in using Zoom, but most people are sick of it now, and I belong to a couple of groups, and 90% have dropped out because they just don't like doing it.
Frank, someone had a comment. Come back.
Joe, KE0OXV, if you have any face-to-face gathering for Hamfest, you might want to think about having a written disclaimer that people can sign, just so they don't try to sue the club over possible infection with the virus.
Yeah, we've talked about that, but we're so early into this. Again, the telethon might change, whatever might change. If they come up with a vaccine tomorrow and it's widespread, I'll try to sneak in that thing in January. So we're not putting this thing on hold by any means. And we realize that this is something that everybody does. We're the first one of the year, but I don't really feel comfortable putting in people in harm's way.
comment?
Go ahead.
KF0ANR. So the vaccine ain't going to happen, but we're all ham radio operators, and we all talk on the radio, and that Zoom thing is really kind of like ancillary to us. We're ham radio operators. Copy. And radio is our language.
There was another comment. Go ahead.
It's KE0CBT. Well, the reality is that we're not going to have a vaccine until maybe February. And the problem with it is it'll be available, but people don't like vaccines. They're scared of them. Initially, they will be scared of it, until they see proof that it's actually safe and people don't have a reaction to them. So I would guess that the period where people are actually getting a widespread vaccination is probably going to be 4 months. So that takes us almost to this time last year, certainly June, right?
Well, without getting into politics, and this is no forum for that, we're doing the best we possibly can with what we've got. And my feeling is very much is that most everyone in the club, everyone in the club are friends of mine, and we're trying to do our best. And I just cannot put myself out and say, yep, we're going to go ahead and have this thing down there at the Thomas McGee Center. And in fact, they may not let us do it. And I just don't feel right about getting people sick. So, irregardless if there's a vaccine, there's no vaccine, the politics that are involved, I can't state that 6 months out. The only thing I can say is let me let this drop. Is that we're looking for alternatives that I feel and that the committee feels are safe alternatives, and that's what we want to look for.
LAO?
Yes, Luann, go right ahead.
Well, I will weigh in with my opinion, and I'm not tired of Zoom meetings. I find the club meetings have been very informative, and as Phil and I talked about, that we're able to see the presentations, and with me being a little short on one end, I can see it and not have to look through the back of somebody's head. So we like the Zoom meeting.
Katie's at TYU. And I also want to say this, if you didn't know this, we appropriated $2,500 a couple months ago to, when we go back to our normal meetings and things like that, broadcast those live. Because what we feel is that there's an opportunity on both sides of this. For instance, if someone can't find a ride and if they can't find a car or whatever, they can watch us on YouTube, I believe, and I'm not sure, or Zoom or whoever, and this and that. The other hand of this thing, and I'm going to let this drop so I don't get dropped, is the way I came up with this was Bob Heil. Bob Heil and I talked for quite a bit before I did that show, and he said, you ought to think about this, because he says, I can come on your show, but I'm not going to come there. I'm in Southern Illinois, or someplace in Illinois. I can't remember what he said. But he says, I'll come and be a presenter to you guys via, of course, they use Skype. And I says, how about Zoom? He says, oh, yeah, anything you got. Just let me know. I'm more than happy. So we can bring in some people from that, and also we would broadcast that live also.
Quite frankly, honestly, Joe, I think it's, there are some good things that have come out of this, COVID weirdness. So yes, I agree that presentations and the folks that may or may not be able to come down from Estes or around, I think it works really well. Thank you very much, Joe. Back to Ned.
Well, anyway, like I said, we are only in the small stages of this HamFest switch, and more to come out on this probably within the next month or two, and we'll lock it in. But bottom line is that I don't want to put anybody in harm's way. Any other comments, questions about this?
CBT.
Go ahead, CBT.
I want to be clear that I wasn't bringing in politics to the discussion. I was just talking from a medical point of view. And I didn't mention Trump. Ha-ha. Hi. Back to you.
No, I never thought that. I just didn't want to get this swayed into, well, there's going to be a vaccine, there's not, there is, and this and that. We don't know. To be honest with you, I mean, you listen to one person or another, and I understand that there's a lot of questions about all this stuff. So, and I don't know either. No, I didn't bring any personal anything into that, and I never thought you did. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that I'm neutral on this. And we're trying to do the best we possibly can as far as this goes. Okay, the second half of this thing. If you didn't know this, and I think somebody or some of these people are out there, we are doing test sessions through Laurel. We've done quite a few of them, to be honest with you. And we are having one next Thursday night in Fort Collins. Now, there'll be something on the website pretty quick about this. We will take, there's a 5:30 shift and a 7 o'clock shift, I think it is, if I remember right. I've only been to 4 of these things. I still can't remember the times. And they are per reservation. Let this drop. We are doing social distancing. Everybody is at least 6 foot apart. In fact, that long one I think is more like 8 feet. Everybody is required to wear masks, and we disinfect. We disinfect so much. I tell you what, everybody would be. Fauci would be proud of us, I think. Darren goes around and sprays everything before you get there, and when you leave, we respray the thing down. Even the pens get sprayed. So we're very good about that type of thing. This is for beginners, and/or we'll take all the way through extra. If you want to upgrade, we'll be there. To register, there should be something come up here in the next day or so on the website. You'll have to basically go on to a website and then register for that and find out if there's an opening, and you pick the one you want. We're thinking about doing this once a month like this. We were actually doing it once a week there for quite a while, but I think we backed off a little bit. So if anybody's interested, stand by. Are there any questions about that?
Okay, easy receive.
Go ahead.
Hey Joe, it's been, I was just wondering, ever since the pandemic started, just before all this stuff happened, I did end up getting ARLVEC, what do you call that, authorization to administer testing sessions. However, not for Laurel. Is there any way that I could help out for these testing sessions? I know it's probably going to be quite difficult because, first of all, I'm not even trained for this yet, for anything like for this. So, just curious.
Well, right now we have a group that is there, okay, but I will add you to the list because I'm helping James out with that part of it. His backup kind of decided he didn't want to do it anymore, so I told him I would help him out with that part of the thing as far as liaisons goes. So, yeah, I'll put you on the list, and if we need you, I'll give you a call. How's that, Art? I mean, how's that?
Yeah, all right. Just curious because I expect that with number of people wanting to be tested and that really small number that can be tested at any one time, it's going to be quite tiring. And if more people help out, it might be better. Anyway, just curious. This is AE0 back to net.
Well, thanks, Ben, for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, we take them in small groups, and we keep them in small groups, and that's the reason we don't go. If somebody just shows up, we just say, hey, we can't do this because because we need the space for that. So there's no real standbys, if you will. They've either registered or they haven't. So, and it works really well. We've been worried about this forever. Tried to do it online. No one would agree to do that, so we couldn't get Laurel or ARRL to initiate that like W5YI had done it. Any other questions? Does anybody have anything they'd like to talk about on the net? Please call. Okay, we've reached the gear swap portion of our event. Does anybody have equipment that they really, really would love or something that they really, really need to get rid of? Please call now.
Yeah, I got a K0PRV.
Phil, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just wanting to put out there that I'm looking for a used antenna. ATAS, a Yaesu ATAS 120A antenna. I've seen one at the Hamfest a couple of years ago, and I meant to pick it up, and I forgot to, and so I've been watching for one. So if anybody knows of anyone who is selling an ATAS 120A antenna, let me know. I would appreciate it.
Anybody out there that can help Phil out, go ahead and call. Okay, I guess not. I'll keep my eye out for that if you don't mind. If there's nothing else for the net, let's see. Sorry about that. Well, this will conclude the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club net. This evening we had, I think there were 22 check-ins. I appreciate everybody doing that. We will start in again next week at 6 o'clock with our preamble. And then we will also have, we'll start our preamble at 6:30. We'll start early check-ins at 6. I've been gone too long. I forgot the script. Anyway, if there's nothing else, the repeater's open for general use. This is KD0TY going to be clear. You all have a pleasant and a safe week.
DVT.